Hello there, and a very, very warm welcome to this week's Overseas Guides Company's YouTube presentation. Well, moving anywhere overseas requires much more than moving to another city or village in England. It can be quite daunting, although of course it's an adventure. So therefore, the more that you do in advance, the better you're going to adjust to living abroad. Now, a good plan is to start by preparing a moving file with all your documents. Put inside all your file receipts, your notes, your important papers such as birth certificates, marriage certificates, insurance documents, medical documents, school records, etc., etc. It's always a good idea to have all these in one place and ensure it doesn't get lost, because you're going to probably find that's going to be something you'll need at the outset when you move to your new country. Start doing this as early as you possibly can, and start spreading the news also amongst your friends and family. If you Good idea also could be to speak to your dentist or doctor, depending on where you're going. They may well have a recommendation, particularly if it's another European country. Notify your bank about your prepared move overseas, and start making financial arrangements straight away with your bank. Notify your kids' schools if you have kids. That's always a good idea at the very start, so that nobody doesn't come as a surprise to anybody when you actually make the move. When you get to your new country, the first thing to do is to register with your local authority, wherever it may be. In France, for example, you should go to the mairie. It's always a good idea to make friends with them and to let them know you live in this community. But find out about local welfare services and any residency requirements there may be in your new country. Another good point is to register with the British Consulate. This will help them know where you are, and if you are getting into any difficulty at all, it's a nice little something that you can fall back on. Ensure, or obviously, that your passport and all your family's passports are up to date. Make sure that if they need renewing, it would probably be a good idea to do that before you go. Sometimes you need at least a year in your passport if you're going somewhere far away. Open a foreign bank account. Many countries will allow you to do this before you move, so that you can have possibly your pension or any other sort of investments paid directly into that. If you haven't already done so, start learning the local language. If it's not English, it's always a good idea to have a few words, a few sentences there. It'll make your day-to-day life much easier and allow you to make friends more quickly. Another important point actually is to make a will. Take advice on this. We can recommend English lawyers who are specialised in different countries overseas. Different countries have different requirements. In France, for example, you have to write your will by hand. It has to be by hand. It can't be any other way. But they all have different rules and regulations, and it's important to do that just to have your house completely in order at the beginning. Another thing is if you're going to be driving, remember your British driving licence. This will usually be fine in most countries. However, some countries will require you to change your licence within perhaps a year or so of being in a new place. And in France, if you have any sort of driving disqualification or fine, you're going to have to change it to a French licence. But you can make inquiries about that actually in France, so you'll think it's your. In other countries it does differ, so you need to find out about that too. Make sure you're fully insured, of course, for driving. And then when you get to your new country, think about seeking out perhaps expat communities. Even if you don't really want to mix with English people, it's quite nice to find out who's there that you might be able to speak to in an emergency. Find out about British associations and clubs. Most countries do have that. You'll find a little coterie of English people in most countries now. And do stay in touch. Remember to give all your friends and family your new details. Make sure you are set up for Skype or any other sort of communication. It's always good to stay in touch. Finally, remember to keep your, if you want to keep your vote, you'll need to tell the overseas, the UK authorities that you're going to be moving overseas, but you will be able to keep your vote. So inform them well in advance of your trip away. Well, we've got lots of information here on our website about moving anywhere. We have writers in different countries, so do have a look at that. If you have any comments or any questions, any specific questions about moving overseas to any country, do let us know. We're always here to help. That's what we're here for. Until next week, I wish you well and speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.